Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Today we are going to continue with exercise 2.9. We have already started our exercise 2.9. Yes children? Yes, it was based on partial fractions. And we have completed the first 3 sums. We have done 2 sums in our classwork and question number 2 was given as a homework. I suppose you are clear, you are somewhat clear with the concept of partial fractions. Let us go on doing more sums. We just go on doing sums. The more the sums we practice and we will be clear with the concepts. And I have told you that partial fractions, we will be having questions on partial fractions for 3 marks or 5 marks. Like you know how the marks will be allotted. Suppose you are having a question where you have to find out 2 unknowns, like in sum number 1 and sum number 2, you dealt with 2 unknowns, like to find A and B. In such cases, it will be for 2 mark or 3 mark. And like in question number 3, we had to find 4 unknown values. Such a case, you will be having that question for 5 marks. So you will be having a question on partial fractions. So you have to be thorough with this concept. Okay children, so today we are going to continue our exercise 2.9. So I would like you to take your classwork. Take down your classwork, write down today's date, take down your classwork, write down today's date, give the heading exercise 2.9, write down question number 4, x upon x minus 1 the whole cube, x upon x minus 1 the whole cube. Okay, now let's see how to do this sum. Now this sum is of one type, like we are dealing with 2, till now we have dealt with 2 types. One was easy, just we took 2 constants, like 2 unknown values A and B. And then we saw where we were dealing with 4 constants, 4 unknowns. And now here we have a denominator which is x minus 1 the whole cube. Okay, so when you have such a type, like when you have a denominator as a power of some number or power of some factor, how to continue with that? So this will be written as a upon, just see here carefully children, a upon x minus 1. First you have to write x minus 1 plus b upon x minus 1 the whole square plus c upon x minus 1 the whole cube. I hope you are clear with the splitting. So x upon x minus 1 the whole cube will be written as here x minus 1 the whole cube. So cube means you will write a upon x minus 1 plus b upon x minus 1 the whole square plus c upon x minus 1 the whole cube. Suppose you have x minus 1 the whole raised to 4, it will continue plus d upon x minus 1 the whole raised to 4 and so on. Are you clear with this first part children? Okay, take down the first part. So x upon x minus 1 the whole cube is written as a upon x minus 1 plus b upon x minus 1 the whole square plus c upon x minus 1 the whole cube. Now the next thing is we are going to make the denominators common. That is from the LHS and the RHS we should have the same denominator. If you have a same denominator, we can cancel the denominator part and we can just deal with the numerator part. Let's try to make the denominators common. So we are going to take the LCM and we are going to make the denominators common. Let's start with the work here children. Therefore, x upon x minus 1 the whole cube is equal to a. This is x minus 1 and you can see the highest power as x minus 1 the whole cube. That means here we have to multiply by x minus 1 the whole square. Just see carefully children. I told you that we want the common denominator. So here it's x minus 1 the whole cube. Here also I want x minus 1 the whole cube. But what is present already? X minus 1 is present. So by which number or by which factor are you going to multiply? You are going to multiply by x minus 1 the whole square. So you get here x minus 1 the whole square plus x minus 1 the whole square is already present. So you need only x minus 1 plus b x minus 1. Plus here x minus 1 the whole cube is present, yes children. So just keep c as c. No need to do any changes over here. Upon x minus 1 the whole cube. So what you get here? X upon x minus 1 the whole cube is equal to a x minus 1 the whole square plus b x minus 1 plus c upon x minus 1 the whole cube. Now we have made the common denominator, that is we have the same denominator on the LHS part and also on the RHS part. Yes children? Okay, so now let's see. I'll cancel the denominator part and now we are just going to deal with the numerator part. You get x is equal to, do not make mistake, copy the terms carefully. So we get x is equal to a x minus 1 the whole square plus b x minus 1 plus c. So here we have to find out totally 3 unknowns. Yes children, what are the 3 unknowns we are going to find out? We have to find out a, we have to find out b, and also we have to find out c. Let's go with the procedure. So first thing is, I am going to take the value for x. We have to choose 3 values of x. We have to take like put x is equal to, like we have to choose 3 values and we are going to find out 3 unknowns. Here we have x minus 1. What is here? X minus 1. So when this term becomes 0? Yes, when you take x is equal to 1. If I put here 1, what will happen? This term becomes 0. And if you multiply with 0, what happens? The whole term gets 0. So what I am going to do? Put x is equal to 0, the first step or the first point. Not x is equal to 0, I am going to put x is equal to 1. I have told you if I put here 1, 1 minus 1 gives you 0. So 0 into anything, you get 0. So let's start with the first thing as 1. So wherever you have x, you have to put there 1. So this is 1 is equal to. Are you getting my point children? Put x is equal to 1. Why I am choosing a number 1? So that I may get one term reduced. Here 1 minus 1 becomes 0. I may get one term or more than one term reduced. So here I am going to do it directly. Just observe the step carefully children. So this is 1 a. This is 1 minus 1. Okay. So 1 minus 1 means 0. If you multiply by 0, the whole term gets 0. So no need to write this a term. I'll put here 0. Coming over here. 1 minus 1. What is 1 minus 1? Again 0. If you multiply by 0, you are going to get 0. So 0 plus 0. Now here no x term. So this is c as it is. So we have found the value for c. Yes children? What is the value for c? C is equal to 1. So we have found the value for c, which is equal to 1. So I have assumed the value for x as 1 and we got the value for c as 1. Okay, now let us go for the second condition. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to take the value for x as 0 because we don't have any other factorization. We were only dealing with x minus 1, x minus 1. So we took 1. Okay, done. So now what are we going to do is, we are going to take or we are going to put x is equal to 0. Let's continue. Write down here, put x is equal to 0. Okay children. So wherever you have x, you have to put there 0. So 0 is equal to a. Okay. 0 minus 1. What is 0 minus 1? Minus 1 the whole square plus b. 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1 minus 1 plus c. So 0 is equal to minus 1 the whole square. 1 minus 1 into minus 1. That's plus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1. So a into 1 gives you a. B into minus 1. What is b into minus 1? Minus b plus c. But here we were not able to find out any value. Yes, children, like in the previous case I got the value for c. But here I just got an equation. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to substitute the value for c and just keep it as it is. So I'll write down here, therefore 0 is equal to a minus b plus 1. Okay. So what we have got here, a minus b plus 1. Okay, so just keep it as it is, no need to move it further. I'll keep this as it is. I'll just put here number 1, put here number 2. Okay, I did not get the value over here. I just write down as 0 is equal to a minus b plus 1. Okay, now one more thing. You would remember that I equated with the coefficients of x. Do you remember that statement? Yes. Now let us check here the highest power of x. I have told you, you have to choose the highest power of x. Now here, this is x minus 1 the whole square. Okay children? So if you expand it using the identity, you get a square minus 2ab plus b square. Here, if you expand x minus 1 the whole square, you get x square minus 2x plus 1. That means, what is the highest power here? Square. X square is the highest power. Here you have only x term, so that is the smallest term. The highest power is 2 and the next one is 1. So now what are we going to do is, we are going to equate the coefficient of x square. Why are we choosing x square? Because that is the highest power over here. Right on. Equating with the coefficient of x square. Equating with the coefficient of x square we get. Okay, I am just going to equate the coefficient of x square, and other than that term I am not going to consider. So here I have only x, we are not having x square. So this term becomes 0. I will get a 0. Okay. Now a into x, I have told you when you expand it, you are going to get x square. That means you are going to take only the coefficient. What is the coefficient present here? It's a. Do not consider the other numbers. We are not going to talk about the variables. We are just going to see the coefficients. So what is the coefficient here? It's a. So a. Here we don't have x square. I have told we are only going to equate the coefficient of x square. This is only with x. So you are not going to consider this term. So 0. Again here no x square term. So 0. So we got the value for a, children. See, a is equal to 0. This is the third one. You just give it the number 3. So a is equal to 0. So we have found two values. We have found the value for c and we have also found the value for a. Okay. Now what are we going to do is, we are just going to substitute the value for a in equation 2. Okay, we will just substitute this value over here so that I will get the value for b. Let us go for the substitution. I just need this part because this will be the final answer. Okay, so I am just keeping this part for my reference. I will continue from here. Substitute a is equal to 0 in 2. Substitute a is equal to 0 in 2. So 0 is equal to 2 minus, a is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0 minus b plus 1. So this is 0 is equal to minus b plus 1. Take this b to this side. So b is equal to 1. So this is number 4. So we have found the value for b. 0 is equal, I am just going to substitute the value for a. So 0 as it is, in place of a you have to put 0 minus b plus 1. So 0 is equal to minus b plus 1. So minus b, I will bring the minus b to the LHS part. So I get b is equal to 1. So we have found all the values. The next thing is, we have to substitute all the values in the first part. That is, we have factorized this, we have split it. We have to substitute all the values over there. Let us put the value. Therefore, x upon 1 minus, therefore x upon x minus 1 the whole cube is a upon, a is 0. So 0 upon something, the whole term becomes 0. So this term gets vanished because the value for a is 0. So leave this term. B, what is b, children? Yeah, 1. So 1 upon x minus 1 the whole square. C, what is the value for c? Yeah, c was 1. C was also 1, yes. B is equal to 1, C is also 1. Plus 1 upon x minus 1 the whole cube. So x upon x minus 1 the whole cube is equal to 1 upon x minus 1 the whole square plus 1 upon x minus 1 the whole cube. So we have substituted, see. So this was the, we started with this part and we have just substituted the founded values. So we have substituted the value for a is 0. Since a is 0, the whole term gets vanished. So only these two terms are left. So b is 1 upon x minus 1 the whole square plus 1 upon x minus 1 the whole cube. So we have completed our sum number 4. I hope you are clear with the 4 sum, children. Yes, so the more you practice, you will get an idea, because here we deal with different types of part sums. Okay, so we have lot of types. So you have to just identify the types properly, and you have to follow the steps. Okay, children. Now let's proceed with sum number 5. Take down question number 5. Have you taken down? Okay. Sum number 5. Your homework is sum number 6, children. Okay, I'm just giving you one sum for homework. Yeah, I can give you only one sum. Yes, one more sum I found. Okay, your homework is sum number 6 and sum number 12. Okay, children. Homework exercise 2.9, sum number 6, sum number 12. So you are going to complete these 2 sums as your homework, 6 and 12. Shall we continue with sum number 5? Sum number 5 is a lengthy sum. This is of the type of third sum, like we used 4 unknown factors, children. So this sum number 5 also deals with 4 unknown. So let us go slowly and let us understand the steps carefully. Take down the question. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1. So this is the question given to you. Now we are going to factorize x raised to 4 minus 1. So let's see how to factorize this. Already we have done this type of factorization. So this will be written as 1 upon x squared square. How are you going to write x raised to 4? You are going to write down x raised to 4 as x squared square, the whole square, minus 1 square. X squared the whole square minus 1 square. Now this is of the form a square minus b square. What is the identity, children? Yes, 1 upon a plus b into a minus b. So this is 1 upon x square plus 1, x square minus 1. How are you going to split this? X square plus 1, x square minus 1. I hope you are clear. A square minus b square. So a plus b. What is a here? X square plus 1, x square minus 1. Now again this can be splitted up. How are you going to split this? 1 upon x square plus 1, we cannot do anything. So we will keep x square plus 1 as it is. Now x square minus 1. So x square minus 1 will change as x plus 1, x minus 1. This is a square minus b square. X square minus 1 can be written as x square minus 1 square. This is equal to x plus 1, x minus 1. Again we are applying the identity a square minus b square. So x square minus 1 square turns to be a plus b, a minus b. So you get x plus 1, x minus 1. Are you clear, children? So we have found the factors, or we have found the factors of x raised to 4 minus 1. So I'll just write down the statement over here. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to 1 upon x square plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. Are you clear with this step, children? Is the step clear over here? Okay. Now we are going to now we are going to split using the unknown terms. Therefore, 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to, here x square. And you may have a doubt, ma'am, if you are writing here x minus 1 the whole square, that term we are not using ax. This is x minus 1 the whole square. Okay, children? If you have such a case, you are not going to use ax there. Don't think of this as x square. Here you have to use only one unknown. But if you have such a case like x square, it is given you directly. So once it is given to you directly, you are going to take two values. If you have x square, what are you going to write down there? Ax plus b, x square. That means how many unknowns it will be containing? It will be containing two unknowns. So this is equal to ax plus b upon x square plus 1. Are you clear, children? Yes, x square. So we are having how many values? Two unknown values. So ax plus b plus c upon x plus 1 plus d upon x minus 1. So how are you going to write down? 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to ax plus b upon x square plus 1 plus c x plus 1 plus d x minus 1. So this is the answer part. That is, we have to find all the unknown values and we have to substitute over here and we are going to finalize the answer. So this is the answer part. Okay, children? So just keep this part as it is. And now the next thing is you are going to make the LCM common. You are going to make the same LCM in LHS part and what is that? Denominator and the LCM, that is what? The denominator of LHS and the denominator of RHS should be same. So how are you going to make it same? You are going to take the LCM on the RHS part. Here just see the terms x square plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. So which term is missing over here? X plus 1 and x minus 1. So you have to just multiply by x plus 1 and x minus 1. Just do the changes. You have to do the steps along with me. Just stay on the steps, children. Have you taken on the step? Okay, now let's go for the LCM part. So what are we going to do here? I'll write the LHS as it is. So 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to ax plus b. Okay, I'm just writing down this in a bracket. Now here x square plus 1 is there. So these two terms I will be multiplying over here. So x plus 1, x minus 1 upon the denominator part we'll write down together. Okay, so now no need to write it. Plus, okay, let's go for the next part, c. For c you have x plus 1, yes children? So which are the two terms left out? X square plus 1, x minus 1. So let's multiply by that, x square plus 1 and x minus 1. Okay, plus d. For d what are you going to multiply by? D x square plus 1, x plus 1. Try to write it together, children. You will have places. Ax plus b, you have to multiply the left out denominators. X plus 1, x minus 1. For c, you have to leave this and you have to take the remaining 2. For d, you have to leave this and you have to take the remaining 2. So just multiply properly and write down the denominator common. X square plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. Actually we have factorized this and we got this value. So we can cancel this and this. You take down the step. Just we are going to go slow. Shall I write little bigger? Are you able to see, children? I'll just write little bigger, children. That's correct only. I'm just writing little bigger, that's all. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to ax plus b, x plus 1, x minus 1 plus c, x square plus 1, x minus 1 plus d, x square plus 1, x plus 1 upon x square plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. So we are going to cancel the denominators part because you may feel that this is x raised to 4 minus 1 and this is x square plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. We got this value by factorizing x raised to 4 minus 1. So both the values are equal. Now our actual work starts. So first of all, let us write the numerator part. Therefore, 1 is equal to ax plus b, x plus 1, x minus 1, plus c, x square plus 1, x minus 1, plus d, x square plus 1, x plus 1. Take down the step, children. I hope you are clear. Can you see the last term, children? Shrink this. X plus 1, okay, children? Okay. X square plus 1, x plus 1. It is a lengthier statement, so be careful, do not miss any term, that's all. For ax plus b, I just left this part and have taken the two parts, x plus 1, x minus 1. For c, I left the x plus 1 part, x square plus 1, x minus 1. And for d, I left the x minus 1 part and I am taking the remaining part, x square plus 1, x plus 1. Okay, now let us start with the substitution. We are going to take the values for x. So first value, I have here x plus 1. So what can you do? You have to just take the, if you have 1, you have to take minus 1. If you have minus 1, you have to take plus 1. So here I am going to take two values. First one is I am going to take x is equal to minus 1, and in the second case I am going to take x is equal to 1. Why I am choosing the number like that? I am choosing the number so that I get a 0 over here. And once I get 0 here, what will happen? Some of the terms get vanished. Are you getting my point, children? Okay, let's start with the work. Put x is equal to minus 1. We are going to put x is equal to minus 1. Okay, so what do you get when you put x is equal to minus 1? When you put x is equal to minus 1, let us go for the terms. I am going to do directly. You also go on doing directly, because if you just go on substituting, it will be very confusing. So try to do that, you have to do mentally, okay? Therefore, wherever you have x, you have to put there minus 1. So 1 is equal to a x plus b. Are you getting my point? A x plus b. Okay, first of all, let me see the whole term. A x plus b, x plus 1. So x plus 1 means minus 1 plus 1. So this is 0. So when I multiply by 0, the whole term becomes 0. Again, here. This is minus 1, yes children, so minus 1 will become minus 2, so this term will not become 0. Coming to this term, minus 1 plus 1, so minus 1 plus 1 becomes 0, so d term becomes 0. So when you put x is equal to minus 1, the ax plus b term vanishes and the d term vanishes, because here x plus 1 is there. So minus 1 plus 1, 0. So when you multiply by 0, the whole term gets vanished. And here also you have x plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1, 0. So what is left now here? C minus 1 the whole square plus 1 minus 1 minus 1. This is what is left. Only the c term was left. Therefore 1 is equal to c minus 1 the whole square, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. Minus 1 minus 2. So 1 is equal to c into minus 4. Therefore c is equal to minus 1 upon 4. I have just taken the negative sign to the numerator part. Just mark this as 1. I have found one value. We have found the value for c. C is equal to minus 1 upon 4. Take down the steps, children. So we have found the value for c. What is the value for c? C is equal to minus 1 upon 4. Okay, so now what is the next thing? We are going to take one more value for x. Let us take one more value for x. I have told you we have two choices for x from the factors. Plus 1 means I have to take minus 1. Already we have taken minus 1 and we have simplified and we have got the value for C. Now we have minus 1. If you have minus 1, you can take the value for x as 1. Yes, you are going to take x is equal to 1. Let's take the value. I'll just rub this part. So put x is equal to 1. I'm going to take x is equal to 1. Now let us go the steps mentally. Don't go mentally. You have to just do your steps using your mental calculations. Okay? Try to do using your mental calculations so that we can skip or some steps. Okay, children? Some will look little easier. Okay. Now we are going to put x is equal to 1. Just think here. So wherever you have this term like x minus 1, if you have x minus 1 means 1 minus 1, so it becomes 0. So here 1 minus 1, 0, so the whole term gets 0, that is ax plus b into 0, it gets 0. So this term gets vanished. Again, yeah, here 1 minus 1, 0, so this term gets vanished. But now here this is 1 plus 1, okay children? 1 plus 1, so this term is left out. So which term is left out here? D term is left out. So write down here D 1 square. What is 1 square? 1. 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. So 1 is equal to D 2, 2. So 1 is equal to D 4. Therefore D is equal to 1 upon 4. So we have found one more value. We have found the value for D. Very easy, yes children. First I took minus 1 from the question itself, from the factors itself. I found the value C. And now I am just taking x is equal to 1 and I got the value for D, that is 1 by 4. So 2 we took from the steps. Now 2 more we have to take because we have to find 2 more values. Yes, we have just found C and D, so 2 more are left out. So now what I am going to do, I don't have any other choices over here. So I am going to put x is equal to 0. Let us substitute x is equal to 0. Let's go for the step. Put x is equal to 0. So what you get when you put x is equal to 0? Be careful here, 0. So this is 1 as it is. One is equal to. Here when I put 0 here, a gets vanished. Yes children? So what is left here? B is left. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 minus 1, minus 1. Plus C. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 minus 1, minus 1. Plus D. 0 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Are you clear children? See here. 1 as it is, a into 0, 0, so 0 plus b. So b here, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1, c, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1, d, 0 plus 1, 1 and 0 plus 1, 1. Now let's try to simplify it. Actually, I want this step for the one more part. Let me substitute this. Let me solve it. 1 into minus 1, minus 1b, that is minus b. 1 into minus 1c, that is minus c plus d. 1 into minus 1, minus 1. Minus 1 into b, minus b. 1 into minus 1, minus 1. Minus 1 into c, minus c plus d. Okay, so we have found. And we know some of the values, children. Yeah, we know the value for C and D. So we will substitute the value for C and D and try to get the value for B. Let us substitute. So 1 is equal to minus B as it is. This is minus C. So minus of minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So So 1 is equal to minus b, minus minus, be careful with the sign, do not just simply cancel over here. 1 is equal to minus b, minus minus plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. 1 is equal to minus b, the denominators are same, I can add the numerator. So 1 plus 1, 2 by 4, so this is 1 by 2. So 1 is equal to minus b plus 1 by 2. So 1 minus half is equal to minus b. So half is equal to minus b. Therefore b is equal to minus half. Take this as number 3. Are you getting the step, children? So 1 is equal to minus b plus half. So you can just bring the half to the LHS side, so it turns to be minus half. 1 minus half is half. And you have your minus b. I don't want minus b, I want the value for b. So b is equal to minus half. Okay, so we have found 3 values. Yes, we have found c, we have found d, and we have found b. How you got the value for c? We got the value for c when we substituted x as minus 1. And when we took x is equal to 1, we got the value for d, that is 1 by 4. And when we took x is equal to 0, I got the value for b. I hope you are clear with this calculation, children. So 1 is equal to, do not get confused, see, wherever you have x, you have to put there 0. So a into 0, 0, 0 plus b, b. Getting my point? 0 plus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1, plus c. 0 plus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1, plus d. 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 1, again 1. So this is minus b. 1 into minus 1, minus 1b, minus c, plus d. So minus b, minus is already present here. What is the value for c? Minus 1 upon 4, plus 1 upon 4, minus minus, plus 1 upon 4, plus 1 upon 4. The denominators are same. I can add the numerators. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 upon 4. So when you simplify 2 upon 4, you get half. So 1 is equal to minus b plus half. I am going to take this half to the LHS side. So 1 minus half is equal to minus b. You know the value for half. That is, if you take half from 1, what is left? Half is equal to minus b. So what is the value for b? b is equal to minus half. Are you clear, children? So we have found the 3 values. Now one more thing is left. I have taken the possible values from here. Then I have taken the value for x as 0. Now one more thing is left. Yes, you are going to equate the coefficients of the highest power of x. Okay, you are going to take the highest power. Let's see here. X into x into x. X into x into x. X cube. X square into x. X cube. Are you listening to me carefully, children? X into x into x. X cube. X square into x. X cube. X square into x. X cube. So mostly all the terms are having x cube except b. See, if I multiply for a, I'll get x into x into x. So x cube. For b, x into x only. So for b only the power is 2. And for a, for c, for d, the powers are 3. So write down the statement here. I'll rub the part over here. Right on the next step. Equating the coefficients of x cube. Equating the coefficients of x cube we get. So we started with 1 is equal to a. So there you don't have x. So you have to put your 0. I told a is having the power x cube. B is not having the power. Similarly, c is having the power and d is having the power x cube. So 0 is equal to a plus c plus d. We know some of the values. I know the value for c and I know the value for d. Let us substitute the value. So what is the value for c? It's minus 1 by 4. Yes, children? Yes, minus 1 by 4. Substitute. So 0 is equal to a minus 1 by 4 D is plus 1 by 4. So both of them gets cancelled and you get the value for A is equal to 0. A plus C plus D. So A minus 1 by 4, plus minus minus. So I have substituted here directly. If you have plus sign, no need to worry about. If you have a negative sign, we have to be very careful because when we are dealing with a negative sign, some signs may change. So we have to be very careful when we are dealing with a negative sign. So A minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. Minus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 gets cancelled. And what is left here? A is equal to 0. So we have found all the values, yes children. We have found the value for A, we have found the value for B, we have found the value for C, and also we have found the value for D. Just stay on the steps carefully. Complete the sums. Have you taken down all the steps, children? Shall we proceed? Okay. Now what are we going to do? We are going to substitute all the values. Let us substitute all the values. I'll just rub all the parts. So what was the step we had? We had 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to ax plus b upon x square plus 1 plus b c, yes, c x plus 1 plus b x minus 1. This was the equation. We split it, yes children? X square we took a and b, and for x we took c, and for x we took d. So this was the statement we arrived at. So now we are going to substitute all the values. What was the value for A, children? It was 0. So this is equal to 0x. 0x. What is the value for B given to you? What we have found? B is equal to minus half. Yes. So put here minus half x square plus 1 plus C value. C is minus 1 by 4. X plus 1, and I hope D is 1 by 4, yes, 1 by 4 x minus 1. Substitute the value, children. So you have to take down the equation once again, take down the expression once again. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to x plus b x square plus 1 plus c upon x plus 1 plus d upon x minus 1. So now what I have done, I have just substituted, and this was the homework part, yes. For the third sum I gave you the substitution work as homework. I gave you that you have to do 2 steps. I hope you would have done it. Okay. Just see here, children. I have just substituted. That's all. Now I am not doing any other changes. First of all, substitute the values. Whatever you have got. You have got the value for A. So put the value for A. Put the value for B. Put the value for C. Put the value for D. Okay. Just keep it ready. Do the substitution. Okay. Shall we proceed further? So now let's see here. So 0 into x. What is 0 into x? Anything multiplied by 0 will give you 0. So what is left here? Minus half upon x square plus 1. Minus half x square plus 1. This is plus minus, so I'll change this as minus 1 by 4 x plus 1. Are you getting my step, children? Plus minus, eh, children? So plus minus, I have just made here minus plus 1 by 4 upon x minus 1, x minus 1. So we have in the numerator, we have in the form of a numerator and denominator. So try to bring the denominator to the denominator. So you get minus 1 upon 2 x square plus 1 minus 1 upon 4 x plus 1 plus 1 upon 4 x minus 1. Okay, children? So what do you get? Minus 1 upon 2x square plus 1 minus 1 upon 4x plus 1 plus 1 upon 4x plus 1. So minus 1 upon 2, 1 upon 4 and 1 upon 4. So just bringing the denominator to the denominator part. So minus 1 upon 2 into x square plus 1 minus 1 4 into x plus 1 plus 1 into 4x minus 1. If you feel that no need to keep the first term to be negative, so what we can do is we can just have an interchange of the terms. We can interchange and write, or we can just keep the term as it is, no problem. This is of our choice. In some cases they would have changed the terms. In some cases they would not have changed the term. So we can just keep the terms, no problem. So this is the required answer. So we have completed sum number 5. Yes, children? Yes, it was a fifth sum, and this type of question will be for 5 marks. I hope you're clear. Today we have completed all the steps. So you can just check your steps of sum number 3, whether you have made any mistakes over there. Okay, children? I hope you are clear with the today's class. So we have done 2 types. Yes, children? One where we dealt with the power x square plus 1. So when you have x square means you have to take the 2 factors. And one case where you have the denominator as x minus 1 the power. You have some power. So when you have the power, you have to just go on writing as the increasing order. That is here, the power is 3, yes? So you have to start from 1, then you have to take 2, like A, then you have to take B, x minus 1 the whole square, plus C, x minus 1 the whole cube. It will go on. Okay, children? So we have some more types to be done, and we'll be doing with the another type in the next class. You just practice the sums that we have done in our classworks, not only in the classwork, but whatever you are doing for the homework, and understand and do the sums. Okay, children, just do not blindly copy anything and try to practice your solved examples. Just get ready with all the things. I have already told you that you have to be ready with your unit 1 full pack. You have to just complete your unit 1 fully, including the solved examples, homeworks and the classworks. Just get ready and try to start with the second unit. Second lesson is easy, yes, children. So you can just go on solving the sums. Okay, so what was the homework, children? Let's come back to the homework again. Your homework is to complete sum number 6 and sum number 2. As I told you that we have to deal with some more types, and we will be dealing with the another type of partial fractions in the next